Hey everyone, and welcome to our walkthrough of Paper 2 Reasoning from the 2022 Key Stage 2 SATs papers. Let's dive straight in. So there's your front page, all of the instructions, and here's question 1. So circle the greatest number. Now we know greatest is another word for biggest. So let's take a look at these numbers here. They're all in the millions and they're all 9 million. So we can't use that to help us. We're going to move across to the hundred thousands column. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, not very helpful. Let's go to the 10,000s column. 0, 1. Okay, so it can't be the 0 because that's already lower than 1. So we've got 1 here. 1, 0. Can't be that one. And 0. Can't be that one. So using deduction, we're down to 2. Let's go to the thousands column now. 5 down here. 5 up there, still no luck. We're gonna have to go all the way to the hundreds column now. 200s and 300s. Well, 300s is bigger. Don't be tricked by this 98. 300s is bigger than 298. So we're going to get rid of this one. And this is our answer. We've circled it. We're gonna move on. Let's take a look at question 2. One table can seat 8 people. There's the table and there's some chairs around it. There are 8 of them to help us visualize this question. How many tables are needed to seat 40 people? Well, this is just a times table question hidden inside of a word problem. So one table is 8, 2 tables are 16. So all you've got to do really is something multiplied by 8 equals 40. And if you know your times tables, it should be quite simple to put 5 as the answer. Let's see question 3. Write the missing number to make this addition correct. So we've got 400,000 plus something plus 70 equals 430,070. This is actually a place value question. Let's take a look here at 70. Well, that's written here. So we've taken care of that 7. We've got no ones, no hundreds, no thousands. We over here have 400,000. So that's 4 in the hundred thousands column, which is here. That's taken care of. We don't need to worry about the zeros. So the only thing left to have in our gap is this 3. Now the answer is not 3. We need to use our place value knowledge to understand that that 3 is showing us 3 lots of 10,000. So the missing number is 30,000. Just use your place value. Let's see question 4. Children estimated the number of beans in a jar. These were the estimates of the 5 children. Okay, let's scroll down and see. Amir, Olivia, Emma, John, and Chen all have some estimates there written down, okay? The exact number of beans in the jar was 1,380. So that's going to clearly be an important piece of information. Whose estimate was closest by the exact, to the exact number? Okay, well, we're going to do quite a lot of maths here. How far away from 1,380 is 1,310? Well, that's 70 away. Olivia is 160 away. We've got Emma, who is actually over, but we can still work out the difference. It's going to be 20 away. John here is 90 away, and Chen is 80 away. Chen is over, Emma is over, and the rest are below, but that doesn't matter. All we're doing is how far away are we, or how close are we? So there's our details down the side, and now we can answer the questions really easily. Whose estimate was closest to the exact number? Well, we want the lowest number in our jottings, and that's going to be Emma. So you'd write Emma, and then we can move on to the second part of this question, which is hiding down below. Whose estimate was furthest? Well, same kind of logic, guys. This time we want the biggest number because they're going to be the furthest away. Quite clearly, it's Olivia, who was the only one in the hundreds. So we can scroll back down. In your test, you would write it here. Actually, on the line, look what I've done here. Olivia and Emma, they aren't even on the line here. So Olivia's going to go on the line. You guys would make sure when you're writing a test or if you're doing anything like this, you'd put it on the line just like that. Let's see the next question. Question 5. 1 ton is 1,000 kilograms. Okay. A truck can carry a load of 2.3 tons. How many kilograms can the truck carry? This is just a conversion question when you're given the conversion fact. So we're going to take 2.3 tons, we're going to multiply it by 1,000 to convert it into kilograms. And now using our place value knowledge of our place value table and understanding that these digits just move up 1, 2, 3 places, we're going to get 2,300 kilograms. Let's see question 6. Emma has a 5-litre bag of compost. She uses 2.75 litres. How much compost does Emma have left? Well, this is a simple case of 5 litres subtract 2.75 litres. And if you guys have seen our video of the arithmetic walkthrough, this was a very common question. What I like to do is take away the whole number first. So 5 take away 2 is 3. And now we've got to take off that 0.75. That means our answer is going to start with 2. And we're going to make 0.75 go to the nearest 1. So we're going to add on 0.25. The answer is 2.25 litres. Let's move on. Question 7. In a race, Ali completes a swim, run, and a bicycle ride. The swim is 1/10 of the total distance. The run is 3/10 of the total distance. What fraction of the total distance was the bicycle ride? Well, we know it's the rest of the whole, right? So if we have 1/10 here is going to be for the swim. We have 3/10 here, which is going to be for the run. How many tenths do we have left for the bike? Well, we've taken up 4 tenths here. We know there are 10 tenths in a whole. So the remaining amount of tenths is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that must be for the bike ride. So I'm going to put 6 tenths in, and then we're just going to check it very quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tenths. That makes the whole race. There were 6 tenths of that race dedicated to the bike ride. Let's look at question 8. Question 8. Circle the improper fraction that is equivalent to 2 3/8. Can you spot the trick answer straight away? I can. I know a lot of people will put this as their answer because they see a 2 and a 3 and they think, well, 23/8. But we know that's not right. Our denominator here is eighths. So we know that 8/8 is equal to 1 whole. But the question's asking for 2 wholes. So 2 wholes is going to be double that amount of eighths, which is 16/8. So now we know it's 16/8 for 2 wholes. And we've also got 3/8 next to it. All we have to do is combine these totals and we get 19/8. We cross our fingers, we hope it's there, and it is. We put that as our answer and we move on to question 9. This pictogram shows how many DVDs a shop sells in 1 week. On Monday, 24 DVDs were sold. How many DVDs were sold on Friday? Well, let's scroll down a bit so we can take a look. There's no key. So we're going to have to do some problem solving here. We have to realize that we need to figure out the key ourselves. These 3 discs here, they represent 24 DVDs. So we might see now how we can work out what 1 disc is worth. We're going to do 24 divided by 3. And if we know our times tables, that's super simple. Each disc here is going to be worth 8. But that's not the end of the question. How many DVDs were sold on Friday? Let's go to Friday. We have 8 here, 16, 24, 32. See how important your times tables are. 40, 48. 48. But then we have a half disc. Well, if 1 whole disc is worth 8, then it should be quite straightforward to figure out that half a disc is going to represent 4. So we have 48 there in total. We're going to add on 4 discs to get our half, and the total, the answer, 52 DVDs were sold on Friday. Let's move on. Question 10. Guys, we're getting there. We're doing really well. We're going to read this out, then we're going to drop down and do some working out. A shop has an offer, okay? Wheat OTs. Buy 1 box for £1.90, get the second box half price. Quite a good deal. Ali buys 2 boxes of cereal, so Ali takes advantage of this deal. How much must he pay altogether? Okay, well, we know the first box is going to be worth £1.90, but the second box, that's half price. So I'm going to divide this by 2. £1.90 divided by 2. 0, whack up our decimal, exchange over the 1. How many 2's fit into 19? 9 of them with 1 left over. How many 2's fit into 10? 5. Aha, here we go. So the second box is worth 95 pence. The first box is still going to be worth £1.90 because there was no offer on the first box. And he bought both. So we're going to add them up. We have 5 in the 1p column, 8 here in the 10p columns with 1 exchanging over for £1. And finally, putting in our decimal place, remember, we're going to put a 2 here. The answer is £2.85 for Ali's 2 boxes of cereal, taking advantage of that fantastic deal. Let's move on. Question 11. Write the missing values. Okay, this is a simple case of equivalent fractions. Look at the denominator here. 10 goes to 20. Think, how do we get from 10 to 20 by multiplying or dividing? Well, we doubled it. So if I want to maintain an equivalent fraction, we must do the same to the numerator. 3 multiplied by 2 is 6. That's your answer for the first one. But guys, you're not going to get a mark for that. This is 1 mark for both. So let's go on to the second one. 12 to 4. How do we get from 12 to 4? Well, we're going to divide as we're getting smaller. And if we know our times table facts, this is really easy. We're going to divide by 3. So let's take 15. Let's shoot over and do the same. Divide by 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. That will get you 1 mark for both of those answers. Times table knowledge is key. Question 12. William has 4 parcels. Let's take a look at them. Write the masses in order, starting with the heaviest. Okay, well, straight away, do you notice that we have kilograms and grams mixing up here? That's never good for ordering the weight or mass of anything. So I'm going to convert them all into grams. That means this one can stay as 1500 grams and this one can stay as 300 grams. But I know that 1 kilogram with the kilo prefix here is equal to 1000 grams. That's going to help me convert these. 1.4 times 1000 is 1400 grams. 2 times 1000 is 2000 grams. Now I can do this question. We're going to do it in order starting with the heaviest. The heaviest is here, 2000, but don't write 2000 just to be sure. Let's actually put what's in the question. So we have 2 kilograms is the heaviest, followed by 1500 grams, which is on the box. We can put that exactly as it is. Followed then by 1400 grams, but we're going to write what's on the question, 1.4 kilograms. And then finally, the last one, by far actually, is the 300 gram box. That will get you a mark, just 1 for all of that working out, okay? Question 13, look at the graph below. This is an interesting graph. First thing you should do is see what the graph is telling you. It's about Dev's bike ride. Let's look at the y-axis here. This is the distance in kilometers, and this is the time in minutes. So let's take a look at this question. Match each part of Dev's journey to the correct sentence. So we need to figure out what's happening between A and B, and then we'll come back down and put our answer in. So between A and B is this here. This is 10 minutes, and he has traveled from 0 to 3. So that is 3 kilometers. So from A to B, he has traveled 3 kilometers in 10 minutes. Let's see if that's an answer here. Yes, let's match that up. Now we're going to go to B to C. I'm going to describe what's going on. From B to C, that's another 10 minutes. But how far does he travel here? He doesn't. It doesn't move at all. So he spends 10 minutes not moving at all. Let's see if there's anything that matches up to that. Dev rests for 10 minutes. Absolutely, that's what's happening there. Couple more to go, guys. Let's keep going. We're going to now go from C to D. That is another 10-minute gap, so that's nice to know. And this time we've gone up to, we go across, pardon my not very straight line, 4. So we've traveled 1 kilometer. So from C to D, Dev has traveled 1 kilometer in 10 minutes. Is that an option? Yes. What can I do now? If I'm super confident in my answers, I can just put the last one in. Dev cycles less than 1 kilometer in 10 minutes. Well, that is absolutely true. We can check it. It's another 10 minutes, and that is certainly less than 1 kilometer. Guys, we've answered question 13. Let's keep going. Question 14. This 850 milliliter bottle of squash makes 17 drinks. How many milliliters of squash are in each drink? Well, that's a simple case. I say simple. 850 divided by 17. What we can do here is a number of different strategies to get an answer. We can chunk up and we can count up in 17. That might take too long. We can use long division if we want, but at the end of the day, we're going to have to work out our multiples of 17. So I'm going to write them down the side here. 1 lot of 17, 2 lots is going to be 34. 3 lots is going to be 51. 4 lots is going to be 68. And finally, 5 lots, which is going to be the key bit of information here, is 85. So 5 lots of squash is 85 milliliters used. So 850 milliliters used is going to be 10 times as much squash, which is 50. So we get 50 lots of squash are in each drink, because that way 50 multiplied by 17 drinks That would take us to our total, and the whole amount has been used up. The answer is 50 milliliters of squash is put into each drink. Let's move on. Question 15. Write the correct sign, equal to, greater than, or less than in each box. Guys, this is just a simple case of working through this carefully. 1 times 2 times 3. 1 times 2 is just 2, times 3 is 6. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 3 is 6. They are equal. Next one. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 again is 8. 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. Therefore, this side is greater than. 1 times 10 times 10, that's going to be 100. 1 plus 10 is 21. Same symbol as before, the left-hand side is greater. And finally, 0. I know this. Anything multiplied by 0 is 0. And over here, 0 plus 10 is 20. Now we're going to switch over, put the less than sign. 0 is less than 20. That's your answer for 2 marks. So all 4 of those get you 2 marks. Question 16, tick the numbers that round to 28.7. So we're rounding to the nearest tenth here. Let's take a look. 28.07. That's going to round up to 28.1, which is not in the question. 28.65. Well, if it's 5, we're going to round up. That means that the 6 rounds up to a 7. Tick. That's our first answer. Tick the numbers. Notice how it's plural, so I'm going to keep going. Might not just be one answer here. 28.71 in the hundredths. 1 rounds down, so 7 stays where it is. That's a tick. 28.75. We already know that the 5 would round up, so the answer there is 28.8, which is not a tick. And finally, down here, the 7's going to round up. It's going to push us to 29. It is not the answer. There are only 2. 2 ticks, 1 mark for your rounding. Question 17. 6 divides into 40. I love this question, by the way. 6 divides into 40 with a remainder of 4. What we're saying there basically is we've got 6 lots of 6 are 36, so there'll be 4 left over if we divide it from 40. Another way you could think about it is this, using the bus stop. 40 divided by 6, 0, 6 is into 40, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. That's 6 lots. And with 36, there would be a remainder of 4 to get to 40. Write one other number that divides into 40 with a remainder of 4. Well, if 40 gives a remainder of 4, that means the exact product must be 36, because only 36 will give us a remainder of 4 to 40. So what we're looking for is a number that is in the 36 is a product of. So we're looking for factors of 36. So we've got 6 already has been used. What other factors do we have of 36? Well, I know that 9 times 4 is 36. So let's do 9 and test it out and see if we can get the right answer here. Let's put 40 in. We're going to divide it by 9. 9s into 4 don't go. 9s into 40. 9, 18, 27, 36. So 4 lots of 9. 36 has a remainder of 4. So the answer is 9. Could you have put 4 as your answer? Let's try it. 40 divided by 4. Straight away, that goes in exactly. There are no remainders. So you had to use a bit of trial improvement here, and you might have been lucky enough to get the answer really quick if you thought about your factors. The answer is 9. Quite a tricky question there, but an interesting one. Question 18. This sign shows the number of empty spaces on each level of a car park at 10 a.m. Empty spaces, level 2, level 1. That's how many spaces are empty. That's really important. In this car park, each level has 800 spaces. So there are 800 spaces in each. Brilliant. What is the total number of cars parked in the car park at 10 a.m.? So we're given the empty spaces. We need to find the parked spaces. So let's show all of our working out here. In level 2, we have 800 spaces. And there are, 800 total spaces, and 511 of them are empty. Now, you might count on here. I'm just going to do some double exchanging to make sure I get the right answer. 10 take 1 is 9. 9 take 1 is 8. 7 take 5 is 2. So there are 289 parked cars on level 2. Let's do level 1 here. Still 800 spaces. 268 are empty. Let's just do some exchanging here to get to the right answer. Let's find out how many cars are parked on level 1. 10 take 8 is 2. 9 take 6 is 3. 7 take 2 is 5. So There are 289 parked cars on level 2, 532 on level 1. Let's add them up to get the total. So 532, 289, 2 plus 9 is 11, 8 plus 3 plus 1 is 12, 5 plus 2 is 7, plus 1 is 8. There are 821 parked cars. Whew, we got there. Quite a tricky question because there's so much to do. Question 19. The circumference of this circle is 60 centimeters. Circumference is the total distance around a circle. So that's from point A all the way around back to point A again. What is the distance around the edge of the circle from A to B? Aha. And you'll notice something. Look at this right angle. That is giving us a hint. We know that a right angle is 90 degrees. And we know that there are 4 lots of 90 degrees, 4 right angles in a whole turn. So what that is telling us is A to B is 1/4 of the total circumference. So if the total circumference was 60, we need 1/4 of 60. We're going to do 60 divided by 4. That's 1 lot of 4 with 2 remaining. 5 4s in 20. The distance from A to B is 15 centimeters because it is 1/4 of 60, the total circumference. Question 20. There are 432 places at the dance school. There are 2 age groups. This table shows the number of classes and the number of pupils in each class for each age group at the moment. Age in years down there, number of classes there are, and the number of pupils in each class. Let's see what the question is. How many more pupils can join the dance school? Oh, what a fantastic question. So firstly, we have to go back to the top. There are 432 places at this dance school, okay? So let's write this somewhere really clear. There are 432 places at this dance school. So where can we start? Let's figure out how many pupils are in each age group. So in 7 to 12, there are 15 classes and 16 in each class. So that means there are 15 lots of 16 children. Now, we could do long multiplication here. There's nothing wrong with that. Times by 10, we're going to get the right answer. I might show you a shortcut after. So 6 lots of 5 is 30. 6 lots of 1 is 6, plus 3 is 90. Then we're going to put our placeholder in here, 5 and 1. That means that there are 240 children in 7 to 12. Let's go to 13 to 18. Aha, 10 classes and 18. This is easy. 18 multiplied by 10. That's just something we can do in our head. Put a placeholder at the end. That is 180 children there. So altogether, there are 240 plus 180 children in all of the age groups, which gives us a grand total there of 420. And there are 432 places. So one final step. 432 places. 420 of them are taken up. So let's find the difference. 3 take 1 is 0. There are 12 spaces in this dance school. Well done if you managed to get that question right. Here, when we're multiplying by 15, we can just multiply by 10 and we can just multiply by 5 if we want to do it the other way around. But anyway, to make sure, we're always going to show our working out. And we have done that in this question and we have got to the correct answer, which was 12. Question 21. Oh, tricky paper. Let's take a look. Each shape stands for a number. The total of the shapes on the diagonal line is 48. We've even got a line here to show us. So 3 triangles equals 48. Guys, this is basically algebra, just with shapes. The total of the shapes of the diagonal is 48. The total of all of the shapes is 200. Wow. Calculate the value of each shape. So we need to work out the triangle and the circle. Well, the triangle is easy because we have 3 lots of whatever the triangle is 48. So let's do 48 divided by 3. 1 lot in there and then 6. So we know each triangle here is 16 to give a total of 48. Also means we know that these triangles are worth 16. So I'm going to go down. I'm going to put my first answer in. This triangle is worth 16. That should bag us a mark. Now we need to work out the circle. Well, what are all the triangles worth? That's the first thing to think about. We have 5 lots of 16 and that is 80. Okay, so the triangles are worth 80. And it said here in the question that the total of all the shapes is 200. So if we do 200 subtract the total of all the triangles, gives us 120. This is the total of all of the circles. So we're still not finished, by the way. How many circles are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we know 4 circles equals 120. That just looks like a 0. That's not very helpful. I'm going to shade it in. 4 circles are 120. So 1 circle is 120 divided by 4. Use your times table facts. There are 3 4s in 12. So there are 30 4s in 120. Each circle is worth 30. Now, guys, if you had time in the test at the end, what you could do is add up all of these numbers to make sure they add up. I'm going to trust my working out. I'm going to put the circle as 30. We're going to bag a mark for each one of those answers. Question 22. You can make green paint by mixing 250 mils of blue paint, 1,150 mils of yellow paint. Stefan wants to make some of this green paint. He uses 750 milliliters of blue paint. How much green paint does he make? Well, this is a case of ratio here. So if we had 250 mil, he's making it a ratio of 1 to 3 because he's had to take 750 mil of blue. So that is 3 times bigger. So if we're going to keep the same ratio of paint to make the right green, we then need to multiply 1,150 mil of yellow. We need to multiply that by 3. So let's do that here. Multiply that by 3. 3 zeros are 0. 3 5s are 15. 3 1s are 3, plus the 1 is 4. And 3 here is that, 3,450 mil. So he had to use 3,450 mil of the yellow paint to add to his 750 mil of blue paint. Now to find out the total number of green paint he makes altogether, we've got to add these values up. So I'm going to line them up properly. I'm not going to fall for that trap. I'm going to put them one below the other. 0 in the 1s, 10 in the 10s, we exchange over. 7 plus 4 is 11, plus 1 is 12. 3 plus 1 is 4. And I'm going to scroll down so I can put it really neatly in this box. He makes 4,200 milliliters of green paint. Question 23. Adam has a bag of fruit that weighs 1.25 kilograms. He takes out a banana, and now the bag of fruit weighs 1.1 kilograms. Next, he takes out an orange. Now the bag weighs 920 grams. How much more does the orange weigh than the banana? Oh my goodness. Right, let's get started. We need to work out firstly, how much does the banana weigh? So he had 1.25 kilograms. It moves to kilograms and then it moves to grams. I don't like it. I'm going to change them all into grams. 1,250 grams, 1,100 grams. That can stay as 920 grams, no problem. So how much does the banana weigh? Well, the banana is 1,250. Take away 1,100, because then that gives us the difference. And the difference there is quite simply 150 grams. Now, guys, you should be doing this in this box down here, okay? So whenever we do a question that says show your method, we're going to put it in the box, but I'm just going to do it up here just to show you. The banana weighs 150 grams. Okay, cool. Now, it weighed 1,100 grams after that. And he took out an orange. So let's work out the orange now. And the bag now weighs 920. So we need the difference between that. 0 take away 0 is 0. We're going to exchange here. 10 take 2 is 8. We have to exchange again. And 1. The orange was 180 grams. So now we know that the banana was 150. So let's put it in here. And the orange was 180. That's still not the end of this question for 2 marks. How much more does the orange weigh than the banana? We've just got to find the difference, guys. So 180 grams for the orange, 150 for the banana. You might be able to do this in your head, but just always show you're working out to be sure. The answer is 30 grams. Lots of steps there to get your 2 marks. Make sure you put all of your working out, because if you make a mistake, you might still get a mark just for doing the right method and making one donut error. Here is an isosceles triangle inside of a rectangle. Not to scale. Calculate the angles of X and Y. Well, the first thing here is we know that angles inside of a triangle always add up to 180 degrees. But there's some extra information we need here. This is an isosceles triangle. That means that these 2 sides here are the same length, which also means that these 2 angles, X and I'm going to put question mark, they're also equal. Okay, that's one of the features of an isosceles triangle. 2 of the angles are going to be equal. So how can I work out what X is? Well, let's do 180. Take away 30, which is this top angle here. I'm going to take that off. We get 150, which means the total of these 2 at the bottom is 150. Now, if they're the same, we can just halve 150. So I'm going to put it at the bus stop to make sure. Could do this in our heads. 2 into 15 is 7, with 1 left over. 2 into 10 is 5. That means that each of these angles here is 75 degrees. And we can put in our first answer. X equals 75 degrees. We worked that out because we knew 180 degrees in a triangle, and we knew isosceles tells us that 2 of the angles are the same, 2 of the sides are the same. What about Y? Well, let's go back to the question. It's inside of a rectangle. That means I know each angle of the rectangle is a 90-degree angle. Well, that means that 75 plus whatever Y is must equal 90 degrees. If we go backwards, we can do 90, take away 75. Again, guys, you might be able to do this in your head, but why would we not just make sure? Let's just write it down, do some exchanging. 5, 8 take away 7 is 1, 15 degrees left over. The answer to Y is 15 degrees. Both angles needed for both marks. Question 25. The triangle is to be transformed onto the grid as follows. Well, on the grid. First, translate the shape 7 units down. Then, reflect the resulting triangle in the y-axis. Draw the new triangle on the grid after each transformation. What a horribly worded question. We're going to have to draw the new triangle on the grid after each transformation. This is transformation 1, this is transformation 2. So we've got 2 triangles to draw. Horrible, horrible worded question here. So we're going to do this. First one, translate the shape 7 units down. Guys, when you're translating a shape, pick one of the vertices and just do them one at a time. So let's go down 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're going to go up here now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's going to go here. And we can actually just count here how many jumps down we go for this bottom vertex here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this triangle is not going to change length. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4. That vertex will be there. And you, with a beautiful pencil and ruler, rather than me with my stylus and no ability to draw a straight line, will do a much neater version than this. And that is your first transformation. The question said after each transformation. So you have to draw that triangle in first. Now we're going to move on once we've done this one. Then reflect the resulting triangle in the y-axis. So the y-axis is going to turn into a mirror. So let's see if we can draw this in. This is the mirror, and that's 1 away. So this vertex gets reflected 1 away from the y-axis. This one down here is probably the easiest one to do next. It gets reflected 1 place in the y-axis. This vertex over here, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. Again, guys, with a ruler and a pencil, not with a stylus, which is just hands-free and a bit messy, you're going to draw in that reflection there. I've drawn 2 triangles because the question said, draw the new triangle on the grid after each transformation. So I had to draw 2 different triangles to get my 2 marks. And guess what? That's the end of the test. Quite a tricky one there, lots to get through in the time, but hopefully that really helped you out. If you haven't checked out our arithmetic walkthrough, have a look at that and keep your eyes peeled for paper 3, the next reasoning paper of the 2022 Key Stage 2 SATs. See you next time.